geez.
Yours is loud right now?
Nah, it's all right.
Oh, we're back. Like we promised. This segment probably going to obviously be a little shorter than the last segment.
I think anything would be shorter than the last
Oh
segment.
my God, I know. I could just go off forever talking about the Rangers, but we just wanted to wrap up and quickly talk about the whole goalie situation because I know that's another big factor for the Rangers.
Yeah, this is a difficult conversation for a lot of people because, and please, Ranger Nation, hold your pitchforks in when we talk about this, please.
Exactly.
We're just trying to look at it.
We're trying to be level-headed here, people.
You got Henrik Lundqvist, one of the biggest icons in New York sports in recent years. One of the best Rangers ever, without a doubt.
Agreed.
He's reaching the end of his career. He's playing less. And I guess the question is it time to kind of fully move him to the backup role? Is it time to try to move on from Lundqvist? I guess is the question.
If anyone's a fan of my show, they know everyone knows my opinions on this already. But I definitely agree. I don't think this is the year to completely make him a backup. But I do agree with, because I know last year they mentioned either splitting the games evenly with our backup or doing like a 40-60 kind of thing, but giving Lundqvist the 40. And that I agree with. I think he should slowly transition into becoming a backup because not that he's... this is where things get kind of tricky.
I think his issue is this, because you can clearly see Lundqvist still has it at times when he plays. He still at times looks like the old king that used to guard the net in New York.
Mm-hmm.
There's no shame in saying he's lost a step. He's on the wrong side of 30. He's lost a step.
Yeah.
So you see it in a lot of sports. How do you maximize what a veteran's got left? You keep him healthy, and you put him in the best position to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how do you do that? Well, they already helped out the offense, so there's going to be better there. But the other way is, yes, play him, especially in a long season like hockey.
Yeah.
Make him a spot starter. I don't know if he's fully ready for 40-60. I think you might be able to get 50-50 out of him this year.
Okay.
But I think Lundqvist will play his best when he gets a little bit of extra rest.
Okay.
He clearly doesn't have the stamina anymore, this season at least, to play every night.
And to complete a season, yeah.
And it's not fair to ask that of him anymore.
No, he's not. He's definitely up there in age. And, I started noticing this last year that even I noticed the players are different with the different goalies in net. Now, not that I feel like they have to do a little more work with Lundqvist, but you know what? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. I feel like when Henrik Lundqvist is in net, they have to do a little more work to protect the net. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like they have a little bit more, not freedom, but a little release when Gorgie's in net, because not that he's going to stop everything and he's a brick wall, but I just feel like there's a tiny bit more trust as of right now.
You know what? I think here's the thing. As we said, it's a young team, and they've probably taken a little bit more reps with Georgiev just because he's been playing a little bit more preseason and all that kind of stuff. Probably getting more reps in practice, so they're probably a little bit more comfortable with him. The other thing is this, and sometimes I almost feel like it's the opposite way.
Okay.
I feel like sometimes these players have in their mindset when you got a veteran goalie in the net, they almost play a little softer on defense.
Okay.
Because they feel like they have a veteran goalie that can bail them out a little bit, which, as when Georgiev's in, you can almost see it. The D kind of tends to apply a little bit more pressure, tends to try to stop a few more shots. I don't think it's on purpose. I think it's just kind of a little click in the back of your brain.
Yeah.
Makes you think about it a little bit.
Okay. That's definitely a cool take.
You want to compare it to like a pitcher in baseball. When you have a pitcher, I'm going to use the Yankees-Astros series that's happening right now with the Astros, which is perfect. When you have a pitcher like Garrett Cole going out onto the mound, the offense knows, okay, we only need to get about 2-3 runs and we'll be all right. it's kind of like that kind of thing in hockey when you have a certain goalie in net.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you only have to get a couple goals, and you can kind of just rely on him to hold it down.
Okay.
Sometimes I feel like that just kind of happens. However, is it time to move on from Lundqvist? I would not move on to him until those prospects are ready. I would not rush those prospects in the minors.
Which we have a lot of
We have a couple
potential ones.
Igor's probably he's probably the best one.
I'm excited for him.
My biggest opinion would be just don't rush him.
Yeah.
I would keep Lundqvist and Georgiev because I don't think Georgiev is ever going to be anything more than a solid backup goalie. I think he has a little bit of a ceiling.
Mm-hmm. You don't get like a Ronta feel with him?
No, honestly, I get more of I get kind of a Cam Talbot feel almost from him.
Okay, yeah.
Where I feel like he has a bit of a ceiling. Can he be a starter on a certain team? Maybe, but I just don't think specifically, especially on this team, that he'll be anything more than a solid backup. I feel like he has a little bit of a ceiling.
Okay. I personally think he's awesome. Maybe I'm just...
It's not that I don't like Georgiev. I like him. But
yeah.
I just think he has a little bit of a ceiling. I don't think he's ever really going to just be an elite goaltender. I could be wrong. I hope he proves me wrong, but that's my take on it. I don't really think he's going to be anything better than that.
You know, it's funny. I feel like they put him in a little more of the high-pressure games.
I think they want to see what they have in him.
Yeah.
And I think the best way to do that is to throw him against the best competition. Basically, throw the kid into the fire is pretty much the literal analogy of what they're doing. And is it completely fair to him? Probably not. But, you know, they want to see, again, they're in this little position where they don't know if they're rebuilding or they're winning now. And you always have to deal with the New York fan base and the New York media. New York, more so than any other sports city in the world, has a serious issue with rebuilding and expects their teams. It's kind of the Yankees' fault. Expects their teams to always be winning.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what other team in any other sport other than the Rangers has to send out a letter to their fans to basically apologize and say, sorry, we're going to rebuild? What other team does that?
Not many or none at all.
Exactly. And that's New York for you. So,
because the Rangers also had this running playoff run for years. And like the one time that we didn't make it, it was like, oh my God. Yeah. And like, I was one of those people. It's kind of like, what? We're not in playoffs? Are you kidding? Like, or what? Even before I was like really, truly into it. Like, I remember asking my dad, hey, Dad, are the Rangers in the playoffs? He's like, yeah, they will be. No problem. And like, now that's not even like.
Now it's actually a discussion. It used to be they'd always at least make the playoffs. I don't think they were ever really like the 1 seed, but they were always in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the Red Wings. And now both teams are kind of in a weird state.
It's just weird. Yeah. It's kind of like you don't know what's going on.
It's weird. And hockey, more so than any other sport recently, is some of these teams just come out of nowhere. Like Carolina 2 years ago was a joke.
Carolina, I have pegged to be in the Stanley Cup final. That was in my predictions. I definitely have them. I'm pretty sure it's Carolina. I have them winning definitely the Metro division, taking that top spot for the Metro. And I think okay, just break everything. And then I have them. I'm pretty sure I have them in the Stanley Cup finals against the Preds. But I could be wrong, but I love Carolina right now.
Yeah, Carolina, they come out of nowhere. The Avalanche went from one of the worst teams to one of the best. It's just hockey's one of those weird sports where teams really do just come out of nowhere.
They just wake up one day and they're like, "Hey, we're just gonna make a playoff run."
Then you got a team like the Ducks, who how many times have they been in the playoffs? And then it seems like, why are they even here?
Yeah,
you get that so many times with the Ducks, and they're doing it again this year.
Yep.
They're off to a solid start. They're probably going to make the playoffs, and then they're probably going to lose second or first round to the Sharks or something.
Most likely. I remember when they were against the Preds about in 2017. I was in Nashville, and they had I just remember this because they had a Ducks car, and you got to pay, and you got to smash a part of the car. So, and I have a picture of it. It has the Ducks logo on it, so that was really fun.
That's awesome.
But I don't want to make this segment too long.
Yeah.
Because we already
Very stretched the last one.
a long one. So I'm going to wrap this up, but I want to thank Andrew for coming on my show.
Val, thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Did you have a good time?
I did have a good time. Thank you. It's
Yes.
nice to talk about this.
And come back whenever you want, because I love having a guest, and people don't have to listen to me ramble by myself for the whole time. So that's always fun. That's a great time. But thank you all for listening, and I will see you next week. Bye.